Will I become a property investor? Hello, my name is Oliver and welcome to episode 74 of the 100 Day Upload series, where I'm uploading every single day for the first 100 days of 2026. Will I ever become a property investor? Now that is a great question to ask because property is an asset. Property is something that everyone needs, essentially. Okay, there's lots of people in van life and everything like that, but there's also lots of people who aren't. Property is very much needed in the world. So, will I personally ever become a property investor? The short answer is yes. Yes, I will. Why? Because I've wanted to for many years now. Genuinely, since I was like 15, 16 years old, I have wanted to enter the property industry. I honestly would have entered the property industry by now if I didn't have CCJs. But it is what it is. The CCJs will be the last one. We're gone very, very soon, and I'm very excited about that. It goes away next month, so that's going to be awesome. But as for the property industry, am I personally right now even looking into investing into the property industry? Yeah, I am actually, yes. Have I done any sort of training for the property industry? Yes. Have I got connections with investors? I have connections with other property investors. So if you count that, then kind of, I guess. But as for getting the cash right now to put down in a property, no, I do not. So I would have to use credit cards and or a loan to do anything like that at the moment. Now, what is property investing, if anyone is curious? Because I'm sure someone's come across this video and is thinking, I want to be a property investor. Well, property investing comes in all shapes and form. They come as BRRs, which is buy, refurbish, refinance. They come as buying a property and renting it out. That could be renting it out as an independent or a HMO. Then there's obviously rent to rent, where you rent a property and then you rent that property out elsewhere. It could be either on Airbnb, or you could rent out genuinely just to another person, just to make a bit of profit. So what industry am I personally looking at going down? Well, number one, I am in connection with some people in the property industry, and I'm really trying to get into deal sourcing. So finding deals, packaging deals, and selling deals. That's the first thing that I'm trying to do. I'm connected with Samuel Leeds' brother Russell, so that's kind of cool. I'm also connected with some other property investors as well. I have one person who's interested in derelict properties, so I am actually currently looking for that sort of thing. So yeah, I am 100% trying to get into deal sourcing. I have tried for years, I've tried in the past, and for one reason or another, I honestly gave up. I gave up because I had a good deal and it didn't sell. And that's okay. People can make mistakes, but then people can also go away, learn from their experience, get a bit more knowledge, maybe even do some extra training for it, and then get back into the industry a bit more. So that's what I'm trying to do. I am trying to start as a deal sourcer, as well as obviously doing all sorts of other things. I'm also looking in the industries of rent to rent. Currently, even today, I was looking at rent to rent properties, and hopefully down the line, I would like to own properties and rent them out. That's what I'd like to do. I really want to own houses, and I would also love to build my own house, because honestly, building your own house is cheaper. If I had the capital or an investor, I would also love to buy land, build some houses on it, and rent those out or sell those on, so I can then get capital and, put it elsewhere where the means are necessary whenever I do that at that point in time. I think property is a great asset to have. An asset for a home, yes, absolutely, especially with family, because if your parents own a property, they own it outright, they could pull out 75% of it. So say the property was £400,000, they could pull out £300,000 of that, and you could potentially use that to invest into properties. So there's lots of potential options out there. I don't have anyone in my family who is willing to put their house in a mortgage. The only person I know who owns a house outright, who I'm close with in my family, because there's family who I'm not close with, I guess would be my grandfather, and I would never even ask him. Never in a million years, because that's my granddad, and he wouldn't do it anyway. He's a lovely bloke, but he would never risk his house. And this is the thing. Lots of property investors and lots of people who rent out properties can be a bit slimy. They can. They can charge through the odds, charge through the nose, and basically be rogue landlords. And this is the thing. If I do ever successfully enter the property industry, and if I am lucky enough to even own properties to rent out, I would never do that. I think it's horrible. As a long-time renter of properties and as someone who has been homeless, I could never, ever, ever give anyone any sort of poor standards whatsoever. I'm very lucky that I have a handyman business. I don't do it as much these days being a full-time father, but I have the skills and I have the tools and I could make any property really nice. So yeah, I guess that goes on my side. So yeah, I would love to get into the property industry. I would love to be able to sustain myself on that. And who knows, by the end of the series, you might even see a video where I'm showing you around my first rent-to-rent property or showing you how I deal source, because who knows what the future holds, and just one person seeing this video could potentially even be a property investor, and they are interested in me as a character, which would be absolutely awesome, and they might reach out, and next thing you know, I own 20 houses. Who knows what the future holds, but at the end of the day, I just want to provide people with good housing. I hate new builds, absolutely hate new builds, but I would love to build my own new builds because I'd make them 100 times better. Absolutely. And EPC A and solar panels and everything. I get there'll be more costs into that sort of thing, but I don't care because everyone deserves good housing, and that's what I want. I want to provide people with good housing. It's as simple as that. That's really what I want to do. I just want everyone to be happy and everyone to be safe and no one to be stupidly ripped off, because sometimes when I look at properties to rent, because I am looking at moving, I've been looking for over a year looking at moving, I can never find anything that isn't sometimes stupidly overpriced. There's properties that I've seen which are £500-600 more. Even when applying for properties, it has been absolutely crazy. I'm very, very lucky to have the place I live in at the moment. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I want to get into property. I want to own properties. I want to do deal sourcing. I am trying to do deal sourcing, and hopefully I'll have some rent-to-rents, hopefully, honestly, by the end of the year. That would be absolutely awesome. And any journey I have for that, I will send you guys' way on this channel. So thank you so much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed the video. Do you own any properties? Are you a property sourcer? Have you done anything like that? Let me know in the comments below, because I would honestly really like to know. Adios, my mis amigos. I shall see you guys all in the next video, which will be up tomorrow. Goodbye for now.